How is money actually created? Welcome to Money and Good Sense. Everyone uses money. Everyone earns money. Everyone pays taxes with money. But where does money actually come from? Is it printed? Is it created by the government? Or do banks create our money? And if almost all our money is created because someone takes out a loan, how can the interest ever be repaid? Today we're going to look at how our money is actually created. There are two ways new money is created. The first is through commercial banks. When an individual or a business takes out a loan, new money and new debt are created at the same time. Today, this is how the vast majority of money in our economy is created. The second way involves the government and the central bank. That works differently. Governments usually finance their spending by issuing government bonds. Under certain circumstances, central banks can purchase those government bonds or provide additional liquidity to banks. This can also increase the amount of money circulating in the economy. That's a different process from money creation by commercial banks. Today, however, we will focus mainly on the first method, because that is where the largest share of our money is created. Banks create most of our money. Most of our money does not exist as banknotes. It exists as balances in bank accounts. When you take out a mortgage, the bank usually does not take that money from a vault. Instead, it simply creates the amount to your bank account. At that very moment, new bank deposit money is created. At the same time, your debt to the bank is created. So new money and new debt come into existence simultaneously. The big question. This is where many people become confused. Suppose you borrow 100 euros. The bank creates 100 euros of new money. But in the end, you have to repay 110 euros. Where do those extra 10 euros come from? Doesn't that mean there is not enough money to repay all debts and all interests? That may seem like a logical conclusion, but that is not how it works. Why is there still enough money? The interest you pay does not disappear. For the bank, that interest is income. The bank uses that income to pay salaries, taxes, rent, dividends, and to purchase goods and services itself. As a result, that money flows back into the economy. The same money can therefore change hands over and over again. And ultimately, it can also be used to pay interest. So there is no need to create new money for every euro of interest that is paid. Where is the real risk? The real risk lies somewhere else. A large share of our money is created because people and businesses borrow money. But when many people stop borrowing money at the same time, or start repaying their debts on a large scale, part of that money disappears from the economy again. As a result, the money supply can shrink significantly. That usually also leads to lower spending. Spending declines, income declines, and that is precisely why major credit crises can have such severe economic consequences. Is there also money without debt? Yes, not all money is created exactly the same way. Coins and banknotes, for example, are not created because an individual takes out a loan. The central bank can also, under certain circumstances, influence the amount of money in the economy. But by far the largest share of our money today is created when commercial banks extend credit. That's why money, debt, and credit are so closely connected. Conclusion. So our money is not created in just one way. There are different ways to create money. But today, the vast majority of our money is created because commercial banks extend credit. That does not mean there is automatically too little money to pay interest. As long as money continues to circulate, the same money can be used over and over again to repay both debts and interest. The real risk arises when lending dries up, because then less money is created. while existing money disappears again as loans are repaid. And that is exactly why banks, lending, and interest rates play such an important role in our economy. My opinion. In my view, this is one of the most important topics in economics. Many economic subjects, such as inflation, house prices, government debt, and credit crisis, can only truly be understood once you know how our money is actually created. That is precisely why I believe everyone should understand the basics of our monetary system. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't worry too much. Everything can be overcome with study and patience.